Hey everybody, me again. I'm gonna record some of these as I'm going. Um, just finished, well, I've read a few comics here already. Kill or Be Killed, #3. Holy smokes. I was already sold on the premise already with the first two, but I gotta say, this #3 has sucked me in a little further. We've kind of learned a little more about his feelings towards what he did. We've learned about this woman that he's attracted to, that he kind of lives with, who's dating a friend of his, blah, blah, blah. We've learned about her past. And I kind of like the way that they're approaching it, because he does kind of seem like he's just gone a little crazy. And that can work in a couple of different ways. You know, is he a story with somebody that may be hallucinating, can come off as, I don't know, a little ridiculous, almost like a cop-out, but this doesn't feel like it's a cop-out for a story, you know, for like, hey, here's the twist, he was hallucinating, or hey, here's a twist, he woke up and it was all a bad dream. This actually seems to be a guy who is going through a bit of a crisis, as far as like his world and what he thinks of things, and matching with what we now know about her and her past. I don't know, I really liked it. I think it's a really good book. I'm digging it. I'm excited to see where this goes. The next issue looks like a great cover as well. The back matter is, there's the cover of the next issue. Great looking cover. I'm really liking, like I've said before, I'm really liking Sean Phillips and Bright Weiser's art and coloring in this one. The back matter is I Spit on Your Grave, which is infamous. A really good article too. One of the things that appeals to me about that kind of era of exploitation movies in general is that there is a lot of kind of feminist themes, even though it's steeped in exploitation and it's steeped in kind of violence and just nasty shit. There's a lot of, he mentions another one here, They Call Her One Eye, which is another fantastic, it's also called Thriller. It's another fantastic movie. They really do have this kind of sense of these women who are in power over their lives, even when horrible, even though it's a movie where we've kind of tortured them and done horrible things to them. The fact that they come out on top as kind of the person that you're rooting for, and it's told sort of from their side, and I like that aspect of a lot of these movies. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that was a sort of complete thought. Hopefully that came out like something. Cape Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye. The one thing I'm left after reading this is, should I know who this character is? Because I've got no fucking idea. I thought it was a character that was just for the Young Animal stuff. And then there's hints at like a whole other life. And then there's hints at a couple of other characters. And he drops a name of Superman and stuff like this. So clearly in the DC world. And I'm wondering if I'm just completely out to lunch on this character, which very well may be true. You know, I'm not all up to date on the DC universe as far as who some of these more oddball characters are. I know that I don't know this character. I did like the story though. I really liked the art a hell of a lot. The art and the coloring in this were great. Stuff like this was just amazing. Really, really liked it. Yeah, I don't want to spoil the end there, so I'll kind of skip back here and go backwards. This story, as much as I love Scioli's art, I don't quite know what the hell this is. I do like his art, and I do like this whole page. I love these panels here as this Joker mobile tank comes closer and closer, and she's riding a bike, and etc., etc. I love this page a lot. I don't know what the hell any of it means. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be about. I don't even know if these separate pages are supposed to coexist or if they're two different things. So I'm a little confused by this. But hey, it's some pretty pictures. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, but I am left wondering, what the fuck am I missing here? Hadrian's Wall. This was fantastic. This really is going to be a book. This art is great. Look at that coloring on that planet there. This art is so fucking beautiful. Look at that. It's really, really impressive. I really like this book a lot. Yeah, this was a great second issue. We just go through him interviewing people. He's now discovered that he has no pills left. Look at the coloring on this. Look at this green. Unreal. And we're really kind of getting into the meat of it. He now does feel that this was a murder, or so we think. He's presenting it as, I want to stay because this is now a murder, and I want to know who murdered my friend. I love these pages so much. Great picture of her there too. Really beautiful art. So it's just giving us enough nuggets. This is fantastic as well, that I'm really interested to see what happens. So I am 100% sticking with that story for sure. Yeah, and if you don't know it, it's only issue number 2, so there's plenty of time to still grab issue number 1. That's as far as I've read for now. Gonna see if I can dig into these at some point, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, the last of this week's books. Jim Thompson's The Killer Inside Me. I'm vaguely familiar with Jim Thompson. The Grifters, I think, was one of his. This one I don't know, however, though. From what I understand, it's kind of an early novel about a serial killer. But I've never read it. I don't know much about the book itself. This issue was just okay. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't blow me away. Kind of undecided at this point if I'm going to follow through with it. It's not that it was horrible, but it just wasn't great. There was something about the writing that didn't really work for me. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I thought, to be honest, because I did know going in that it was going to be a story about a serial killer. There seems to be other things at play in here. So I might give it another chance, but this didn't blow me away. This one, however, really worked for me amazingly. So this is Star Trek Boldly Go. The first issue takes place right after the latest Star Trek movie, which I'm also a big fan of. I thought it was an incredible movie. I really, really liked this a hell of a lot. Really great setup. You know, brings you right into the story, introduces you to all the main characters, where they are in their lives right now. I'm really excited about this. I've never really read Star Trek comics before, but I am a fan of the movies. I'm definitely a little more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars guy. So I'm looking forward to the new series and everything. I'm thinking of rewatching some of the older series as well. Deep Space Nine specifically, and Voyager. I'm looking to watch those too. Anyway, so this was a fantastic issue. Really, really great. If you're a Star Trek fan, I think it's a no-brainer to pick it up. I really love this cover. The interior art is kind of, for my tastes, a little more run-of-the-mill. It's not bad. It's just not something that, it's not a style that blows me away, but it serves the story really well. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. But that's going to go on the list. That's probably going to be on the mental list as opposed to the pull list. Kong of Skull Island, number 4 of 6. All I can say is thank goodness there's only 6. It's just really, I don't know, I'm having a hard time reading this one. It doesn't feel like it's been very long since I've read the first 3. I'm having trouble figuring out which character is which, to be honest, with some of this. And the same problem that happened last time, there's a few panels, the way that they're drawn, I just don't know what it is that I'm looking at. I don't understand the perspective, don't understand the relationship of the person to the Kongs. Yeah, there's some panels that just aren't really clear. This one starts off with some really good Kong versus dinosaur fights, which is pretty great. But even those scenes don't blow me away. Uh, it doesn't take me very long to read it. It's not that I dread reading it, but it's not as good as I was hoping. Like I said, though, there's 2 more issues. I'm just gonna ride it out all the way and see what happens. It looks like now that they've kind of made a go of being on Skull Island, they're going to now explore the island and go deeper into the jungle and see what's there. So that holds a little bit of promise as far as things to come. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not blown away by it. I would say if you're a fan of King Kong or any of these giant monster type movies, don't rush out and get the singles. Maybe get the trade, read it all at once. It might make a little more sense. You might be able to follow it a little bit more. But yeah, it's just okay. Nothing to write home about. And I can say the same for this new Godzilla series, Rage Across Time. It hasn't been my favorite. I love the Eggleton covers, though. They're always just fucking beautiful. This one was okay, but it's been 3 issues of just okay. Again, I'm glad it's a mini-series. This is part of what I like about these Godzilla books. They are all mini-series. The premise itself is kind of lost on me at this point. Kind of looking at the history of Godzilla and seeing these giant monsters. Godzilla doesn't make an appearance in this one. It's Mothra that makes an appearance in this one, which is pretty great. And it takes place during like the Black Plague in England, and knights going out to slay a dragon that supposedly is the king thinks is the cause for the plague, when the knight himself knows that it's not. But he takes the task and goes to slay the dragon in hopes to save the people. It was an okay read again. It just wasn't anything mind-blowing, especially when I think of some of the other Godzilla series that I've read that were really, really great and entertaining and beautifully drawn. This one, each of the issues, the first one I think has been my favorite one art-wise. These last 2, the interior art hasn't been that great in my mind. And again, that's just my opinion. That doesn't mean that it's gospel. But I can think of other Godzilla series that I'd rather read. So yeah, I'm going to finish it off again just because it's only 6 issues, I believe. So let's just see what they have in store for us. So there we go. That is it, I think. That's this week's comics. It's been kind of nice to pick up comics every week and, kind of be up to date. As much as I like reading back issues, and that's still a big thing for me, the past few weeks have been great, kind of reading the weekly books and chatting about them. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you very much, everybody. And I guess we will talk to you on Wednesday when I go to pick up next week's comics. Right on. Thank you. Talk to you.